Hisense HS2100 versus the TCL S55H. And the real question is whether TCL's extra stuff, Dolby Atmos, and that auto room calibration actually does anything in a bedroom or a small apartment living room, because the Hisense keeps it simple and usually costs about the same or less. Paying for processing you can't hear in a small room is wasted money, but going too basic and still straining to hear dialogue isn't a win either. By the end, you'll know which one fits your room. Let's break it down. Let's get into the part that actually decides this, which is whether you can hear what people are saying without cranking the volume, and whether the bass fills a small room instead of booming through the wall. The Hisense HS2100 puts two front-facing drivers in the bar and hands the low end to a 5.25-inch wireless sub. And the thing people mention over and over is how much clearer voices get. There's one opinion about the Hisense that stuck with me. I swapped out an older Yamaha bar that ran over optical, and the difference is the bass now has just enough punch to balance everything out, plus the voices come through noticeably clearer. The TCL S55H, for its part, goes deeper and hits harder, and plenty of buyers say it fills a room well past what you'd expect from something this size. The catch is up top, because reviewers keep pointing to soft treble, so S&T sounds and dialogue can come out slightly muffled. And there's no dedicated center channel here, which means in a busy action scene, voices don't sit as clearly out front as they would on a 3.1 bar. Honestly, for pure talking head TV and news, I'd take the Hisense. For movies where you want the room to move, the TCL. That's how they sound. Getting there is where the difference shows up fast. Both connect over one HDMI cable and include it. Both do optical, aux, and Bluetooth, and both pair the sub automatically. The Hisense is about as plug-and-play as it gets, and it's Roku TV ready. So if you're on a Roku or a Hisense set, your TV remote just handles it. It's not flawless, though. Some folks have hit a power cycling loop where the bar and TV keep flipping each other on and off over HDMI, but that's one complaint against a lot of easy setups, so I'd call it an odd unit rather than the norm. The TCL supports EARC and works with basically any smart TV, but there's a real caveat because it runs high latency over that connection and gives you no way to nudge the audio sync. If lips and voices drift on your setup, you're stuck with it. A few people also mention having to repair the sub after turning the TV back on. So does the TCL's extra processing earn its keep in a bedroom? Partly. The auto room calibration through the app is the piece I'd actually use, since it listens to your layout and evens things out, and buyers who bother with it say the app setup is a little clunky but worth doing once. Dolby Atmos is the part I'd temper. It's supported, but the height effects are weak, and it downmixes surround down to plain stereo, so treat it as a solid 2.1 bar rather than real overhead sound. The Hisense skips Atmos entirely and leans on DTS Virtual X, which fakes a wider stage instead of a taller one. In a small room where sound bounces off everything anyway, that gap matters less than the spec sheet suggests. Calibration. Yes, Atmos. Not the reason to pick it. On size, both bars run roughly 32 inches wide and sit low enough to clear a TV stand, and both come with wall mount hardware. The subs are where they differ, because the Hisense one is tall and narrow and slides beside a dresser, while the TCL sub is a chunkier cube that wants a real corner. Neither is a problem in a bedroom. Day to day, the TCL adds phone app control on top of its remote, while the Hisense gives you 6x presets and a plain remote that does the job. And one small annoyance worth knowing is the Hisense announces its power state out loud until you dig into turning that off, which brings up the money, and it's closer than you'd think. These two sit in a similar range, with the TCL usually the cheaper of the pair despite carrying more features. What you get for it there is the room calibration, the app, EARC, and a sub that digs deeper. The Hisense gives you more raw power on paper, 240 watts against the TCL's 220, plus cleaner dialogue and setup that basically does itself. And reviewers describe its build as average rather than premium, so you're paying for sound per dollar, not finish. Here's the call. Neither one sweeps this, so I won't pretend otherwise. And honestly, the room you're putting it in decides more than the spec sheet does. If most of your screen time is news, sitcoms, and talking head stuff in a bedroom, the Hisense is the one, because voices come through cleaner, and it sets itself up without you thinking about it. But if you want movie nights and games to actually hit in a small living room, the TCL digs deeper, costs less right now, and the room calibration is genuinely worth the 10 minutes in the app. Just skip it if your TV has ever given you lip sync trouble, since there's no way to fix the delay. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links below in the description.